A 6.5-hour drive north of Perth in Western Australia will take you to the town of Kalbarri and Kalbarri National Park. It's where outback meets ocean, and I've travelled all around Australia, and this is one of the most special places I've been, not just in the country but anywhere else in the world as well. The population of the town is only around 1,500, yet about 200,000 people visit the town every single year, mostly to go to the national park. So in this video I'll provide a little bit of information about the national park and show you around as well. Let's get stuck in. So we are on the main road on the way into Kalbarri National Park, and a couple of little things to bear in mind if you come in here. One, when you come in, it's going to be $17 per car on entry. When you come in, you'll get a map like this. It will give you a lot of ideas for the routes you can take and what you can see, but if you go and download the All Trails app onto your phone, then you can find some routes and ideas on here, and it will give you some information about it, and you can read the reviews to see if it's appropriate for your level and kind of needs. If you are coming here, I've been here one time before and I thought it was the time of year that the flies were bad, but every single review, and even yesterday when we were here, the flies are still bad no matter what time of year you come. So if you do come to the national park and want to do the hike, make sure you get a fly net ahead of time. It will change your entire experience in Kalbarri. Welcome to Kalbarri National Park, the most fly infested national park you'll ever go to. Get my legs as well, they're all over my legs. Later on in this video I will show you Kalbarri town, but for now I want to show you the modified shorter route we've done that lasted around 45 minutes. The reason we chose this is because we got there a little bit later in the day. We got there at 10 AM, and really if you want to be doing some of the longer hikes on a hotter day like it was today, then you want to be starting at like 7, maybe 8 AM. So vast, just barren. Water runs through the middle, the canyons just running up the side, the rock. All of this must have been here before and just tumbled over, or however rock usually erodes. It's fascinating actually just to see. You just got layers and layers of rock, just layer. You can see it from the ground up. So if you go past Nature's Window, which is up here, and then there's a route, it's a little bit less paved and a little bit more technical, but nothing too crazy. It's up over here. So then I'm guessing when we get to the top of here, there's going to be some insane views in a second. We're not doing this full trail today, but if you were to do this, it's around 6 miles or 10 kilometers and take you anywhere from 2 to 3.5 hours according to the people we've spoken to and online references. But wow, look at this. Wow. Well, look at this. This is like a natural kind of shelter or cave, and then you see the layers of rock, all of the different layers. Some experts would know what this means, I don't, but I find it fascinating still. You can just see it all there, and then when it falls off it almost stays in the same form and same kind of pattern. Wow, there's like a really big drop down there. This landscape is absolutely unreal. Kalbarri National Park, man, what a place. Usually I'm terrified of heights too, but maybe it's something in the air that gives me some more courage. Wow. And a little tip, if you don't want to sit with the crowds up at the famous Nature's Window, if you walk 200 meters further along the ridge, then there's another equally as beautiful Nature's Window here without anyone around. Then running semi-parallel to the ridge, you can come alongside it and walk down towards the riverbed, I believe, which is where we're heading now. Wow. And we just got down to the bottom where we're just near the riverbed and everything's turned into sand. Feels like you should be at the beach or by some sand dunes, but you're actually in a canyon in a national park. So when you get down to the bottom of the canyon too, I am literally walking right now on a dried up riverbed. So I imagine in a couple of months, when the more wetter months come here in Western Australia, there'll be a lot more water here. And I believe, I don't know, is this salt? Is that rock salt there? Maybe. Just gone 11. And we set off maybe a little bit later than we should, so if you're coming here and planning a longer walk, just make sure you get early, especially in the warmer months, which pretty much are most of the months of the year. Even though we're on an actual route, once you do come down into the canyon, I mean, this is the terrain you're walking on. It's not an exact path, and it does give you that little thrill, that little sense of wilderness. It's an incredible feeling. Termite mound. Wow, look at that. There's a eagle. For a bit of context as to where we are, there is Nature's Window, and you'll be parking up there if you come to this route. And then we're down in this valley here. After around a 1.5 kilometers walk back from down in the gorge, up the ridge, we're on the home stretch to where Nature's Window is and where we had parked our car. Have a look at this view as well. Unreal. And I don't know how, but you can also go down into this valley. And then we were down in this one. Now we were done with the national park with one final stop, and that was the Sky Bridge. The Sky Bridge is a platform built into the rock face that stands 100 meters off the base of the gorge, and you can look out all over Kalbarri National Park. Now for the town of Kalbarri. The town is only small with around 1,500 people living there permanently. The sun sets over the Indian Ocean out to the west, so the sunsets there are pretty special. And there's a little spot just up on the hill by the coastline. As you drive south through the town, it will be on your right-hand side. The sunsets there are unreal. There's a few campsites and accommodation options also, but be sure to book ahead as it can get booked up. As I found out a few years back when I visited the town, couldn't get booked in and had to sleep on the side of the road. There's several restaurants and cafes around town to choose from, and there's an IGA that is open 7 days a week. Just check the opening times as everything in town shuts fairly early. The wildlife there is pretty rich too, and it's not rare to see emus and kangaroos just strutting around town. And if you visit in the right months, the whale migration comes through Kalbarri from June to November, so you might be lucky enough to spot some whales from the coast as well. Kalbarri is an amazing little town, and its main attraction is the national park, and I wouldn't come here without visiting the national park. It's one of my favourite things I've ever done in Australia and Western Australia, and it does take a little bit of effort getting here. You will have already needed to get to Perth, which is already a bit more isolated than some of the major cities here in Australia, and then you will have around a 7-hour drive north of Perth. But if you do make that effort, if you do have the time, if you do have the means to get here, you will be spoilt by the national park. I've been to a lot of unique places, and Kalbarri National Park is another extremely unique place that you're not really going to be able to replicate or get the same feelings without coming here. I'm not saying it's a must visit, but what I am saying is if you do have the time and you are in Perth or you are in Western Australia, try and visit. Also, if you're not coming in the summer months, Kalbarri's weather is perfect. So if you visited Kalbarri previously, I'll be keen to hear your thoughts in the comments, and if not, and you can get there in the future, I highly recommend the place. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.